Oh, for the love of all that is Cheetos. I'm a professional here. Can you hear me now? All right. Can you hear me? No, it was muted because I was listening to something as was waiting for the thing to start, so I thought, "Oh, well, goodness, I don't wanna, have people listen to, Pink with me," although I will say "Never Gonna Not Dance" is a great, pep song. Anywho, Bob Newhart, the beloved stand-up performer whose droll, deadpan humor showcased on two critically acclaimed CBS sitcoms and vaulted him into the ranks of history's greatest comedians, died Thursday. He was 94. And thank you, Flux Raiders. I don't know if I should call you Fluxers, but anywho, welcome, welcome. It's a me raid. Yes, I'm happy to see you, kiddo. It's so funny. Mr. Mo is like, "How many people have you adopted from the internets?" And I'm like, "All of them, sweetie, all of them." The Chicago legend, who won Grammy Awards for Album of the Year and Best New Artist for his 1960 breakthrough record, Button Down Mind of Bob Newhart, died at his Los Angeles home after a series of short illnesses, publicist Jerry Dingy announced. The former accountant famously went without an Emmy Award until 2013 when he was finally given one for guest starring as Arthur Jeffries, alias Professor Proton, former host of the children's science show on The Big Bang Theory. Oh, I adopt all of y'all, all of you. Now, I'm just afraid to tell you that there will be a wheel of regret, for who gets custody of me. So, that is your only warning. In 1972, MTM Enterprises cast the modest comic as clinical psychologist Bob Hartley, who practiced in real life Newhart's favorite burg, Chicago. The Bob Newhart Show would become one of the most popular sitcoms of all time, featuring a wonderful cast of supporting characters: Suzanne Pleshette, Peter Boners, Marsha Wallace, Bill Daly, and Jack Riley among them. Newhart ended the series in 1978 after 142 episodes and incredibly no Emmy nominations. In Newhart, he portrayed Dick Loudon, a New York author turned proprietor of the Stamford or proprietor. English is fundamental, and one day I'll get it. Of the Stafford Inn in Vermont, the show was a mainstay for 8 seasons, and this one also featured a great cast: Mary Fran, Tom Poston, who later would marry Pleshette, Julia Duffy, Peter Scolari, and handyman Larry Darrell and their other brother Darrell. So, I am glad. Thank you so much. Flux, like I said, I have a couple days where my hair, my feral wild hair will of its own accord be awesome, and I cherish those days. Thank you so much. Um, you know, I will say I did not watch a lot of Bob Newhart, but I know he was particularly beloved by a lot of people. And I will say 94 is a great and full life, and I hope he was surrounded by family and had, a peaceful sleeping passing. I think that's all that we can hope for at the end. In, well, the second of the three, Orlando Magic's co-founder, Pat Williams, has passed away at 84. Now, y'all, just bear with me. I only got one more of these. I swear that not all of my stories will be passed away stories or rest in peace stories. Pat Williams, the basketball executive who helped bring the NBA's Orlando Magic to Florida, died Wednesday, his team announced in a statement. He was 84 years old. His death was reportedly from complications of viral pneumonia. The story of the Magic began with, or of The magic began with Williams when the general manager of the Philadelphia 76ers, meeting with Orlando businessman Jim Hewitt. Williams later became co leader of the effort to bring an NBA expansion team to Orlando, which succeeded in 1987, with the team playing its first season in 1989. While the team has yet to win a title, it has reached the playoffs in 17 of its 35 seasons and won the Eastern Conference twice in 1995 and 2009. Williams got his start in sports via baseball, first as a minor league catcher, then as an executive with the Philadelphia Phillies and the Minnesota Twins organizations. Then he moved to basketball with the Sixers in 1968. The basketball career ended up lasting more than 4 decades and spent mostly with the Magic as a general manager and senior vice president. The tenure saw the drafting of Shaquille O'Neal and Dwight Howard, as well as trades for the likes of Penny Hardaway and the signing of Tracy McGrady. Y'all, I know Shaquille O'Neal. That's about all the name I know of that one. Williams received the John W. Bunn Lifetime Achievement Award in 2012 from Naismith Hall of Fame and was a member of the inaugural class of Magic's Hall of Fame. Williams retired in 2019. Per the Magic, he is survived by wife Ruth and their 19 children. Y'all, I finally met someone who's got more kids than me. Holy fazolies. How did this man not have a TLC show? 14 of whom were adopted from from foreign countries. So God bless this man, his heart. He had the resources and ability to take in children, who needed a home and opened his heart to them. So, what a full life, what a generous spirit and soul. And I hope that he gets a warm, gracious welcome along with Bob Newhart at the pearly gates. In our final of the trifecta of, well, rest in peace, Lou Dobbs, conservative pundit, dead at 78. And I will say I am a news junkie nerd, like it's terminal news junkie. So I would listen to Fox Business, even though I quite don't understand the stock markets, and it all seems like magic to me. But I really did appreciate Lou Dobbs. He was just kind of down homey and, just kind of the old school sort of news reporter, newsman that, still had a political leaning, still had, their biases, but tended to try to tell you when those were their opinions versus, facts. I mean, a little bit, let's be honest. Conservative journalist and political talk show host Lou Dobbs died at the age of 78 on Thursday. It is with a heavy heart that we announce the passing of the great Lou Dobbs, his social media account announced. Lou was a fighter till the very end, fighting for what mattered to him most: God, his family, and the country. Lou's legacy will forever live on as a patriot and a great American. We ask for your prayers for Lou's wonderful wife, Debbie, children, and grandchildren. Dobbs spent more than 4 decades in journalism, most notably with CNN, which he joined when the network initially launched in 1980, and later Fox News. He was an outspoken, conservative. Well, yeah, I know, but we're coming to a generational switch, and unfortunately, all the cool people that we like are really, getting closer to the pearly gates, and I don't like it. So I have elected to have no more birthdays to stop everyone from aging. It is my gift to the world. He understood the world and what was happening better than others. Lou was so unique in many ways and loved our country, Trump posted on social. So he was a longtime host of his highly rated right-wing talk show on Fox Business Network, Lou Dobbs Tonight. He was fired in 2021 after he was named in a $2.7 billion lawsuit filed by the voting technology company Smartmatic. So There you go. Uh, but, what a cool life to have lived, to have seen, kind of our 24-hour news cycle evolve, to have been when it started, when people thought CNN, a 24-hour news network was the dumbest idea ever. Who would want news? And then, well, it was just, look, they knew people like me who are news junkies would be out there. But that is the end of that, and I will say of these 3, and I mean absolutely no disrespect, but they all seemed like they lived full and incredible lives that, touched a lot of people and gave people hope in various ways or guidance, and, you know, if we can do one thing with our lives, it's leave a legacy that impacts others in a positive way, and I think these 3 gentlemen did that. So they should have no problem explaining things to St. Peter. He's probably just gonna let him in. Whereas y'all, anyone behind me, Imma be splaining a lot. I'm going straight to purgatory, but they are gonna question my behind, so I apologize in advance for the delay. In, absolute hero, bad badass girl power in the truest sense that it is, 3 11-year-old girls rescue a 6-year-old neighbor from an attempted kidnapping. Now, I don't like this whole girl boss thing that's coming out of Hollywood, but these girls are heroes to me. How many 11-year-olds would, jump in? I mean, most adults don't jump in when they see something crazy going on, and these girls did. 3 11-year-old girls in Kent, Washington are being hailed as heroes after thwarting the alleged attempted kidnapping of their 6-year-old neighbors, police said. In a statement Wednesday, Kent police detailed receiving a 911 call from a witness who observed a man attempting to take a young child. After the witness described the man, officers quickly arrived at the scene and chased the suspect down. After the suspect was detained, 3 11-year-old girls told the police that they were walking toward the ice cream truck when they noticed their 6-year-old neighbor being held by an unknown man gripping her wrist. The child looked afraid and was telling the man to let her go, the police said. The girls began recording on their phone and approached the man. He picked up the child and tried to walk away, but the girls intercepted him and asked if he knew the girl. He claimed he did, but the little girl shook her head in denial. The suspect put her down and fled. And God bless, I mean, look, God, the universe, the flying spaghetti monster, or just random chance. I am so glad that these girls did not get hurt, going to be so doggone brave, because my mama's heart is like, what would have happened to those other little girls? And I want them to go protect that little girl too. I applaud their bravery. I applaud their selflessness, but my mama's heart is like, "Oh, okay. Okay. It's all okay. It all ended okay." But you just run through all the terrible things that could have happened. Uh, The girls, after he put her down and fled, led the child back to her apartment. Later, the child's parents confirmed to the police that the suspect was a stranger. A family member told King 5 that they were shocked at what happened. "We're grateful for the people who called the police and caught the guy," he said. The suspect, a 40-year-old Kent resident, and I'm sorry, y'all, but, Imma need the attendants that work on the nuclear power for Lord Chippy to start getting that activated allegedly in Minecraft, okay? 'Cause, um, yeah, this dude needs to go directly to Snake Island or meet Lord Chippy allegedly in Minecraft. I have no power to do this, so I'm just telling you, you don't mess with kids. Was arrested for kidnapping and booked into King County Jail. His name was not provided by the police. Well, because it's Cletus Lee Jones. They always got 3 MF in middle, or, 3 names. They always release it like a 3 name. We ugh. Quote, "We are impressed beyond words at the maturity and protectiveness displayed by these preteen girls," Kempley said. Without their intervention, an excellent description of the suspect from the 911 caller and the swift response by multiple KPD officers, the outcome would have changed dramatically. Absolutely. I've had this talk with my girls, if you are ever attempted to be taken somewhere, make a fuss, make a stink, do not go to another location. So I'm just well, what are you gonna do? Why? Just why? I don't understand why these politicians and public officials don't think they're gonna get caught. I mean, I guess YOLO or something. Ex-councilwoman known as Lady Trump accused of defrauding a charity for a slain officer to pay for her daughter's wedding. I mean, those are some bazoongas. I'm a lady, I can say it. I have a boob pass, but them are some Dolly Parton things. The shapewear under that is steel enforced, y'all. And I'm saying that as one big boobed and fluffy chick from to another. There is some shapewear of steel under there. And I'm not dissing her. I'm just saying she's gonna have to cut it off. A former city councilwoman in Las Vegas is facing multiple felony charges for allegedly running a scheme to defraud donors to a charity for memorializing a police officer that lost his life in the line of duty, using the money to travel and pay for her daughter's wedding. You know what? No. Stealing from taxpayers is like regular political douchiness that we kind of all expect. But when you steal from people that would like to honor a fallen service member, a fallen police officer, like that is corroded trash water at the bottom of a dumpster human being. I'm just saying. I mean, great shapewear, bad humaning. Michelle Fiore, 53, has been indicted by a federal grand jury on 4 counts of wire fraud and 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud, authorities announced. If convicted, the former Republican gubernatorial candidate, previously referred to as Lady Trump, faces a maximum penalty of 20 years in federal correctional facility on each count. I mean, ma'am, do you have no strategery at all? Do you understand who the federal justice system is run by, and you wanna call yourself Lady Trump and steal a doggone, crap ton of money from a fallen officer? You is stupid and not a great human. However, prosecutors said I'm sorry, according to a news release from the Justice Department, when Fiore was still a member of the city council, she solicited donations to build a statue honoring Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Officer Alan Beck, who was killed on the job on June 18th, 2014. Her solicitations allegedly included a promise that 100% of the contributions would be put toward the creation of of the statue. However, prosecutors say that Fiore did not use any of the tens of thousands of dollars in charitable donations for the statue of the fallen officer. Instead, she allegedly converted all of the money and more than $70,000 for her own personal benefit. The donations were used to pay for her political fundraising and rent and were transferred to family members, including paying for her daughter's wedding. According to the indictment, the basis for the alleged scheme dates back to December 2018 when the city broke ground on Alan Beck Memorial Park and Fiore proposed the creation of a statue of Beck that would be placed at the entrance of the park. The construction of the park was paid for by a private real estate development company identified in the indictment as Company A. Company A, in August 2019, entered into a purchase contract with a sculptor who would create a statue to pay for the installation and the shipping and all of that jazz. Fiore was aware from her role as city councilwoman it involved planning of the Allen Beck Memorial Park and that Company A had agreed to pay for the statue. The indictment states, "Ma'am, you are just corroded trash water person. I mean, you already knew that this company was going to pay for this, but you sent out flyers and e-begged for a statue that was paid. You are, ugh, I just don't like you. I'm a, we're going to do this Southern. Bless your heart. I'm going to pray for you." In what I can only say is I understood why George Carlin calls them nassholes. NASA is scrapping a moon rover that's they spent 450 million to build. Can I get a refund on my tax money? Or can you send certain people to Mars asking for a friend? I mean, I would like my percentage of people. I mean, absolutely, what the heck has gone on here, and where the heck does all this money go, and could I be given 450 million to construct something with absolutely no results? NASA is scrapping a moon rover it spent over $450 million to construct and axing the machine's mission to find water on the moon. The agency discontinued the development of Viper, or Volatile's Investigation Polar Exploration Rover, because it proved exceedingly expensive. If only someone could have foreseen this. You would think like these math wizards and geniuses would think, this is going to cost like all the money. NASA's statement on Wednesday said that the rover was to be scrapped because of cost increase, delays to launch date, and risk of future cost growth. It also said that continuing the rover product or project would result in increased cost that threatens cancellation or disruption of other lunar, research missions. Okay, so I'm just asking as a, simpleton taxpayer that can't do all that crazy math. I mean, were you like 85%? What percent done are you with this doggone rover? Like, can we piece it out like an old Corvair? I mean, is it like, can we make it into something else, you know, Transformer style? I mean, are we just going to eat 450 million? Because I have a lot of questions. Send me to Senate. I'm gonna ask these nassholes some questions because I have a for-profit charity and I could build something out of pipe cleaners and super glue. It does bother me because I am a giant nerd and I would love NASA to continue to do things, but this seems like something that wasn't planned out, that they didn't have an exact budget for, and they just kept spending money. I mean, at what point why didn't we stop at 250 million, like at 100 million? I mean, I know I generally have like a stop in my budget. I'm just trying to figure out if NASA does, which I guess they don't. Who knew? The agency, oh, I'm sorry. It also The rover, a car-sized robot that was supposed to explore the south side of the moon in search of ice and other potential resources, has already been built. All right, I am confused. So is it 100% done and we're just going to scrapulate it? That's it. I'm done. I'm running for president again. This shen- this shenanigans shall not go. Yeah, they are looking so there's division in kind of the international space community. I'm a nerd. But some people believe that we should be building a kind of training colony on the moon because it's a infinitely shorter sort of travel for our first colony outside space, whereas Elon Musk believes that we should just go to Mars. So there has been increased looking at the moon to see if it would be a viable place for resources and other things. I don't know much more than that because it would involve math, and y'all know I don't do anything but angry math when I'm trying to figure out sales. But it has been, speculated that it would be easier to start with a colony on the moon, but I don't know a whole bunch more about that. Well, the Foo Fighters did not deliver because Zeus, I guess? The Foo Fighter fans are fuming after city-filled concert was cut short over thunderstorms. "We were robbed." I mean, I'd be upset if they didn't even get to sing "There Goes My Hero." Well, that was ever short. Foo Fighter fans were left fuming after the rock band's outdoor concert in New York City was cut short over roaring thunderstorm taking place at the Big Apple on Wednesday night. The Rockers were kicking off the summer US leg of their Everything or Nothing at All stadium tour at Citi Field in Queens when they were forced to slam the brakes on their gig. Oh, awesome. I'm glad you're that is great. I know it's scary and, try not to be too anxious, which is easier said than done, but I hope this gets you to feeling a lot better after you get healed up and, remember to take it easy. I know my biggest struggle is resting, uh, because it's like prison to me. I'm like, "You want me to rest in bed and not do anything?" I mean, you may have seen all my cross stitch projects. I mean, there's a reason I have all of them done because I cannot sit still and do nothing. The band tried to rattle off their smash hit Everlong, often reserved for their final song of the night, before the concert was abruptly stopped after 13 songs while they normally perform at least 21. "We just got called," frontman David Grohl told the crowd 33 seconds into the song, according to footage posted on social media. Unfortunately, due to the continued presence of lightning in the area, today's show has concluded. Please exit the venue and have a safe night, the stadium's official X account posted at 10:33 p.m. The unexpected ending left concertgoers angry as some rushed to social media to share their disappointment of the show's poor scheduling. I mean, y'all, were they supposed to know how can they change concerts because of a thunderstorm? Poorly managed, one fan on X said. Opener's set should have been shortened or the show should have been preemptively moved to tomorrow. We were robbed. Another added, "I thought this was rain or shine," while a third one wrote, "We paid full price for half a show. It was obvious hours ago storms were going to disrupt this performance." Knowing what the weather was going to be like, the planning should have been better. People pay a lot of money for those tickets. Disappointed, another added. City Field forced fans to pay between $60 and $120 to park at the stadium for to park? Y'all have got to be out of your freaking minds. To park? All right. Well, that's a no for me. Which was advertised as rain or shine. Yes, but not lightning. Let's think of safety. I agree with you now, having read the article, that they either should have shortened the opening acts or, you know oh, thank you, dingus. Please, yes, climb up my skirt to lay in my lap. Um, they should have rescheduled it for another day, but I mean, good lord. So, if you had to pay $120 to park there, then ticket prices start at $80. That's a no. I'd be staying there till they're playing the Titanic Fiddles song. Thank you, Puddletown. I have few days, like one a quarter, where my wild feral hair of its own accord does something awesome, and I appreciate those days because most of the time I'm just putting on wigs because I don't know how to style my hair. Devoted rock fans came to the defense of the band's brief show. Dave tried to give you Everlong before it was canceled. At least he tried. I've seen them 9 times. Everlong is always the last. He or the band is not are not the bad guys, one diehard Foo Fighters fan said. After the cancellation, the band issued a statement on X saying they had no choice but to call it a night. We are so disappointed we were unable to play our full set of songs for tonight's fantastic crowd at Citi Field, but the safety of our fans, crew, and everyone working at the stadium. You don't love me. You want to get my brownie. Okay, y'all, it is time to name and shame. This dingus, this absolute dingus, knocked an entire big old jug of cat treats down today and ate them all. Now, the fact that he is part werewolf means that he does not have a stomach ache and was able to finish his entire dinner, but now he's trying to eat a brownie. Y'all, I got a feral werewolf. I did not get a Maine Coon. He's like, I love you, Mom, but also you have food on your desk. We were grateful for every second we were able to play for you and looking forward to see you again, maybe as soon as Friday, the Rockers added. The thunderstorms rocked into the metro area, forcing the ground stoppage of flights near LaGuardia at JFK and Newark airports, according to ABC7. The band is slated to return to Citi Field stage on Friday before they head to Boston this weekend. So, I mean, it could happen. In other news, but it looks like things are heating up in the Hannah Gutierrez trial after what went on in the not Alex Jones, Alex Baldwin trial. The state's deplorable behavior, Hannah Gutierrez Reed files a new trial motion over alleged cover up and egregious prosecutorial misconduct unearthed in Alec Baldwin's trial. You know, she looks much better here than she did as discount Hot Topic Barbie. And I know I sound judgmental, but look, you're in a you're in a position in which people should be able to depend on you. And I would depend on you more if you looked like a soccer mom from Kmart than when you looked like discount, Hot Topic Barbie. I'm just saying, that's just me. Attorneys for Rust Armor Hannah Gutierrez Reed, 26, filed a blistering motion on Wednesday based on rampant prosecutorial misconduct uncovered during the short lived Alec Baldwin trial. Well, I mean, she's a classy lady. She's very classy. Last Friday, the manslaughter case against the famed actor, you mean the inflamed actor? He is such a hemorrhoid. Look, he might have been found not guilty, but he is still a hemorrhoid. Most personal opinion, not legal fact, I think. uh, Last Friday, the manslaughter case against the famed actor was dismissed with prejudice amid revelations. The state withheld ammunition evidence related to the shooting from the defense. Now, Gutierrez Reed's attorney says the egregious prosecutorial misconduct by Special Prosecutor Carrie Morrissey necessitates the convicted woman's release from prison, a new trial, or dismissal. The locus of the contested ammunition is a bit of an odd. Do not bite cords. What is wrong with you? During a markedly effective cross-examination of Santa Fe County crime scene technician Marissa Popple. Oh my gosh, do you guys remember that show Popple? The Popples? It was a fun look. All of the 80s cartoon, people must have been so on the Colombian marching powder because they were all a bit off. I love them still, but they were all a bit off. Uh, Defense attorney Alex Spiro pressed the state witness about a Good Samaritan who turned over a container of ammunition to the police. That delivery, the defense argued, was in support of sabotage theory of the case that held some mysterious person aimed to make the rust armor look bad and get her fired. The ammunition was said to be the same or similar to the kind of freedom seed that unalived Hutchins when the force multiplier Baldwin was holding discharged. Later, it was revealed former Arizona police officer Troy Teskey supplied the ammunition. On July 12th, in a stunning courtroom volte-face, the special prosecutor called herself as a witness during a hearing over the defense motion to dismiss. Her goal appeared to be to bat down allegations that the state had intentionally withheld the ammunition in question. She did not succeed. Now, I do think that there are grounds to give Hannah Gutierrez Reed's case another look, but I will say that her attitude in jail, her phone calls, have not painted her in the best light. Look, I I understand that people manifest guilt sometime as aggression and things like that, but the fact that she sees herself as the real victim, or at least that's how I perceive it with some of those phone calls, was really quite distasteful to me and off-putting. And I know that should not be a factor in how I perceive the case, but look, I'm not a juror at this point, and she did she burnt my biscuits with that attitude. I mean, had she come in there and said, I understand there are probably reasons why you don't take responsibility, but if she had come in there, with humility, with understanding the gravity of what she took away from, you know, Helena's family, I think it would have played better for both Baldwin and Hannah if they had both been humble and not gone to cover your ass mode. And I know that's probably the absolute opposite of what your lawyer is going to tell you, so listen to them, but I am saying from a public optics, kind of view, they both went on the offensive and defense right off the bat, which made that their, condolences and sadness about the incident seem a little less true. It's a little less, you know, from the heart when you come out swinging for yourself. That's just my opinion, and I can understand why a lawyer would tell you not to do these things. I can see both sides, but I will say that her attitude is not going to get her a whole lot of places regardless of how this court case goes. If she continues to keep this self-entitled victim complex attitude, then life's gonna be hard. And I don't want that for anyone, but sometimes you gotta learn the hard way. Look, I was hard-headed for, well, today and all of my life, and I've had to learn things the hard way. And sometimes you need to be humbled, and it stinks, but hopefully she'll grow from it. In her 35-page motion for a new trial, Gutierrez Reed accuses Morrissey of repeatedly lying to the court about the ammunition. Quote, Alexandria Hancock testified that Miss Morrissey was in on the decision to file the Teskey rounds in a separate case, the motion reads, referring to the lead detective on the case. On direct examination, however, Miss Morrissey stated she never knew it would have a separate file number. The motion also accuses Morrissey of lying about why fellow prosecutor Erlinda Johnson quit in the middle of the hearing and the circumstances of how her former paralegal came to leave her office. And that only skims the surface. Morrissey represented that the undersigned counsel did not want the Teskey rounds and believed they inculpated, so exonerated or misread. The motion goes on. No, maybe it's the other way. Inculpated. Exculpated means, uh, found her not guilty. Inculpated mean made her found guilty. Learn to read and break down words with Mo. The motion goes on, that is an absolute falsehood. Testimony in Baldwin's case was unclear about when Teskey bought the rounds to law enforcement relative to Gutierrez Reed's trial. Some testimony suggests that the rounds were delivered after the trial, while other testimony suggests that law enforcement did not have them until after. Well, both of that sentence says after and then after. Okay. The new trial motion makes clear that Gutierrez Reed's attorneys were in some ways cognizant of some rounds existing, but they had allegedly been told by Morrissey to forget about them because she found them visually dissimilar to the rounds that killed cinematographer Helena Hutchins on October 21, 2021, and not relevant. In Baldwin's case, the heart of the defense complaint could be understood as arguing that the decision to forego mentioning the rounds made unilaterally by law enforcement was unacceptable. Essentially, the discovery violation was severe enough to result in the court viewing the misconduct as close to intentional. In the Gutierrez Reed case, however, the allegation is more stark. In January 2024, Morrissey told Gutierrez Reed's counsel the rounds would not be tested by the FBI because of how they looked, the motion for the new trial alleges. And moreover, the claim about how the ammunition looked is not even true, according to the motion. Quote, astonishingly, Miss Morrissey told this court in the July 12th, 2024 hearing that she had never seen these rounds until July 12th during the evidentiary hearing. The motion goes on. It is clear in the hearing that 3 of these rounds were visually like the rust set rounds, which contradicted Miss Morrissey's statement in her January 8th email to the undersigned and Miss Morrissey in court statements from July 12th that the rounds were not visually similar. As for how Teskey evidence was kept hidden from Baldwin, the motion suggest that the special prosecutor did it on purpose. Quote, Hancock testified that Miss Morrissey was present for the meeting and decision to place the rounds in a separate case file, the motion continues. In other words, Special Prosecutor Morrissey was in on the decision to hide the rounds and report on them in another file. On March 6, 2024, Teskey himself took the initiative and delivered the rounds to the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office. The same day, Gutierrez Reed was convicted of involuntary manslaughter. That is really good. Puddletown. I bought a cheap thesaurus. Not only is it terrible, it is also terrible. No, that is great. The repeated discovery failures are certainly beneath was Miss Gutierrez Reed what? Okay, copy editor. Some of us have to read this, and we're not good at English anyways because we graduated before No Child Left Behind. Were not what Miss Gutierrez Reed deserved, and for her, the impact has been devastating. She sits in a state prison serving an 18-month sentence based on what we now know was a proceeding that was rendered unfair and unconstitutional by the state's conduct. This court should not countenance the state's deplorable behavior. Now, sadly, I have to hold to my principles, which kind of stinks because I both think they're not so great people. But if it can be proven again that they shenaniganed all over this place, well, then these 2 did not get their fair and constitutional, due, and I have to be okay with them going free. And it's hard to do that. But We want to have fairness for both people that we think are dingleberries and, people we think are innocent. And y'all, doesn't sometimes being the bigger person is exhausting. I mean, we have to, like, stand on principles and be all fair and stuff. It is exhausting being the bigger person sometimes. If you are not quite sure that I am the woman for the job of president, well, there is another candidate that you know, has popped up. Man named literally anyone else running for president. Sir, I salute your shitlordiness. From one smartass to another, that is good. That is real good. A Texas man legally changed his name to literally anybody else to apply for a particularly difficult to get job, President of the United States. The 35-year-old military veteran and middle school math teacher, formerly known as Dustin Eby, said he's running for president to protest the current major party candidates and to show his distaste for a system that his website states, quote, often prioritize partisan battles over real solutions. Else is running in a write-in campaign in Texas where he did not get the required 113,000 signatures to make it on to the ballot. It is expected to appear by name on the Tennessee ballot where he said he did get the required amount of signatures. Oh, my Bob. This year is becoming an absurdist dream. I love it. It's not necessarily about drawing attention to my grievances, Else told KTRK TV, but it's about giving a place for anyone who shares these grievances to come together for a focal point. Hello, Slidey Pie. Okay, so in one breath, you say, look, I'm not here whinging, but if you'd like to whinge with me, we'll come and complain together. I mean, look, I get it. The two-party system seems to have left a lot of politicians making sure that problems remain because if they solve problems, well, then they'd be out of a job. But this is epic level trolling, and I am here for it. Else announced Neil David Stoltz, a New York man currently living in Switzerland, to be his running mate. Well, I got Bigfoot first. That is why he picked a business person. In well, dear God, what in the Richard Gere is going on here? And I almost don't want to know. An Ohio man was found with hamsters in his pocket and busted for a Petland burglary. Did this No, it's Ohio, not even Wisconsin. We salute you, Ohio, for your addition to the Florida-like states of America. An Ohio man who today allegedly burglarized a Petland store and set loose some animals was found with several hamsters stuffed into his pockets when cops discovered him sleeping in a leopard print onesie outside a nearby business, as one does. I am beginning to question whether he is related to Nicholas's infamous, man wearing leopard print skirt, holding a kayak, and, doing a little hand hug. Okay, y'all can't make this stuff up. Dude's name is Matthew Pancake. I give up. What in the gummies is this face? Was arrested this morning for breaking into several stores in Columbus, according to cops. When investigators arrived outside the pet store, they found dogs, birds, bunnies, and hamsters in the parking lot outside. Some other small animals were still unaccounted for as of this morning. In addition to Petland, Pancake is accused of breaking the front door and entering Rooster's restaurant and a shoe store. Officers found Pancake, who has an extensive— oh my gosh, is he gonna be like— what is his final form boss name? Is it Mega Mecha Pancake? Is it Mutant Pancake? Is it the man formerly known as Pancake? What in the actual hell? JKD Puck. Matthew Pancake, what in the Aunt Jemima hell is this? Y'all, I don't know, but he has a full head of hair on him. I don't know what. Every time I think the world can't get weirder, oh, Flapjack Phil. That does sound pretty hard. Officers found Pancake, who had— do you think Pancake is related to, Corn Pop by any chance? I mean, they are both breakfast cereal or breakfast, items. Do they hang out? Like, are they the continental breakfast gang? What is going on in this world? He has an extensive rap sheet. I know you guys are shocked. He has fallen asleep. Had fallen asleep near a Big Lots store. Police frisked him and turned up the hamsters. Charged with vandalism, breaking and entering, both felonies, Pancake was booked into the Franklin County Jail after being treated at a local hospital for injuries he apparently suffered during the pre-dawn break-ins. Pancake is scheduled for arraignment tomorrow in Franklin County Municipal Court. Y'all, I am just saying that I this is reason number 1100 billion I should not be a judge, because I would read this name and crack up. I'd be like, "So what's up, home skillet? Pancake? Or should I call you, Lord of the Griddle?" I am just confused. Oh my gosh. Oh Lord. We have we have lost the plot. In our final story, well, this is one lobster that's not gonna get eaten at Red Lobster. An ultra rare orange lobster was found at a Red Lobster eatery in Colorado. Oh my gosh, I will have to look that up. Buttermilk. She coulda named him Short Stack. I mean, Short Stack Pancake. Could you imagine? I mean, it sounds like something I would do, but you're fine. The manager of a Red Lobster restaurant in Colorado said a rare orange lobster that arrived at the eatery will be taken to a permanent crustacean vacation at the Denver Aquarium. The orange lobster was spotted by Jose Romero, a dishwasher at the Pueblo restaurant, and the general manager decided to spare the rare colored invertebrate from the dinner plate. I mean, y'all, it still looks kind of red to me. Let's see if we can scope out, because local news stations are freaking ridiculous about copyright. Oh, okay. All right, never mind. Okay, would it be in terrible, terrible taste? And look, I try not to get political, but if someone put a little Band-Aid on one of his antenna right now and called him Lord Cheeto, I'm asking for a friend. I'm in a silly mood tonight. This is probably inappropriate, but if we don't name this lobster Don, I am going to be mad. And thank you for becoming a new member, Puddletown. Welcome to the Church of Mo. We have dark chocolate and well, sarcasm. I've been at Red Lobster for 12 years. I always unpack the live lobster shipments, and I've never seen an orange lobster. I noticed it right away how different it was and thought, oh my goodness, I better get him in the tank and find my managers. Romero told KRDO Huddletown, thank you for the super chat. Pancake was offered a plea deal, but he waffled for your demonetized fund. Hey, it is okay. It's you know what? It's the evening show. We can get a little spicier. I mean, a scotch, not, smothered in spice, but a scotch. The general manager said lobsters with rare colors such as orange and blue are usually sifted out before shipment arrives at individual restaurants, but this one slipped through the system. Orange coloration is believed to occur in only 1 out of every 30 million lobsters. An orange lobster caught off the Maine coast in June 2023 is currently being studied by researchers at the University of New England to determine whether the cause of the peculiar pigment is genetic or a result of environmental factors. So there you go. I don't know what causes orange. I wonder if you could make orange chicken with an orange lobster. I don't know. Suit this orange lobster up with a bottle of syrup and he can be Pancake's sidekick. No more hamsters for Pancakes. He needs a crustacean. Is that a hamster in your pocket? Are you happy to see me? Y'all, these stories have broken me. I am going to let you go. I think I have you being transferred to, oh Lord, who do I have you transferred to? These are awesome questions, and I am a professional. Alrighty, we'll send you to, oh, for the love of all that is Cheetos. Oh, I haven't redirected you to anyone. Let's see. Ah, I am going to be sending you over to Squid Pro Quo. And I think she is still going. So you guys go over there, tell her I sent you. I am going to go, well, get ready for bed because 4 o'clock in the morning comes early. Yes, it does. It does, every morning 4 o'clock comes, and I'm like, why am I awake this early? But I remember I get my walk done before I can even think about, uh, well, squeaking out of it, to be honest with you. Have a lovely rest of your evening and, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I will see you in the morning. It is Friday and I have a new punk wig and we are trying it out. So we'll see how that goes and I will see you guys in the morning. Bye, guys.